Today I'm going to do some ribs on the pit barrel cooker. It's my first time using it, so I don't know what to expect. I've watched a couple of videos and everything from the company and some other guys, some friends of mine that are also on YouTube. So anyway, I'm cooking some ribs, but I'm not doing them with a normal sauce. It's going to be kind of a barbecue sauce, but not your everyday barbecue sauce. So stick around, see how it goes. For our rub, we have 1 cup dark brown sugar. We've got 1 teaspoon of 5-spice powder, 1 teaspoon black pepper, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 1 teaspoon of cayenne, just for a little kick. Now we're going to give everything a good mix. Now we're going to remove the membrane from our ribs. Take a butter knife, stick it up under the membrane, kind of pull back a little bit, get your finger in there, and start pulling it off. And at this point, be careful not to pull too fast, or you can get yourself splattered with liquid. Now we're going to apply our rub. Don't be shy. Put some on there now. Now time for the other side. Now we're going to rub this into all the nooks and crannies. And then we're going to let this set for about an hour or so while we get the cooker going. And I've got some briquettes in this chimney that are going good now. And I've got some more in the bottom in the pan. And we're just going to put them on there and let that set for about 20 minutes. Now I'm going to put the rods in. You always put these in. I mean, I'm hanging meat today off of them, but you always put them in to help control your ventilation. Alright, so our cooker is almost ready. So let's go ahead and get the hooks into our ribs. Now if you'll notice, that rub is really melted down on these ribs. And it's soaking in there and doing some good stuff. Abby says it's time to get the ribs in the pit barrel cooker. What do y'all think? So now we're simply going to take our ribs and we're going to hang these hooks right on the rod. That's pretty easy, isn't it? Yeah, both of them. And now we're going to put the lid on. For our sauce, 1 cup blackberry jelly. 1/2 cup hoisin sauce. 1 tablespoon soy sauce. And we're going to put 2 tablespoons of sriracha. Half a teaspoon white pepper. And then we're going to start heating this and stirring it until it all comes together. You don't have to cook this. All you got to do is just basically melt down the jelly and get everything to come to a consistency about like this. Then you're done. Let it cool. The ribs have been in here about 3.5 hours, so it's time to take them out. Now we're not done cooking. We're just taking them out for a bit. How does that look? Now after you get the ribs out, you got to put the lid back on. Now we're going to brush on a thin layer of sauce. I like doing 2 thin layers rather than trying to do 1 thick layer. I just like that method better. If you like doing one thick layer or multiples. Anyway, tell me how you guys like to sauce your meat. Do you do one layer or multiple layers? Anyway, right now, I'm just gonna take a moment. And of course, we're gonna do the other side. Now, when we get this side all painted up, we're gonna put the ribs back in there for another 30 minutes before we put our second layer on. And we're gonna put the ribs back in the cooker. Oh yeah, I can't hardly wait. And here's what they look like after 30 minutes. So these ribs right now have been cooking for a total of 4 hours. Anyway, we're putting this second layer of sauce on here. And then we're gonna put them back in there for 45 minutes. And by the way, every time you take the ribs out, put your lid back on, because if you don't, that thing flames up, and we're wanting to control that fire inside of there. And when we get done putting this second layer of sauce on there, the ribs are going back in there for another 45 minutes. And this is what they look like when they're done. Alright, we're going to take this hook out. I don't need it anymore. There we go. Now look at these ribs. Trying to pull out the meat, but they're still there. Look at that. Take a look at that. I'd say that's not too bad. So, you gonna taste the ribs for us?
Yes, I am.
All right.
Oh my god.
I take it that's good.
Yes.